Greetings, this is Body-Culinary, and today I decided I'm going to moisturize these locks. So people ask, how are you moisturizing your hair? In particular, because I'm not using oil. That's not my preference. I've tried it. Periodically, I will experiment, but for the most part, I don't really care for oil, especially as someone that's had a lot of acne. So I'll show you what I'm doing currently. And my go-to are things from Yad, right? I like to call it Afro flower garden, or Afro flowernomics, or whatever kind of flower in whatever package you are. Welcome to the channel, Body-Culinary, chef, personal trainer, mother, natural born woman. And on this channel, I share my journey in radical self-acceptance of how I popped out onto this 3D plane, as well as encouragement to start a garden, cultivate a garden, because it's so deeply therapeutic. Inspiration and motivation to consume peacefully, peaceful consumption for your womb, your brain, reproductive organs, your mood, your arteries, as well as start or reactivate, cultivate a personal movement practice. So those are the kind of things that I share on this channel. And today I'm just going to moisturize my locks. I'm going to make it so simple. I like grooming because I like to be natural. That doesn't mean I'm cheap with myself. I like to invest in my food and my methods of play, like my aerial silks and yoga and movement, my food, all that stuff. I really like to invest in myself because health for me is my number one beauty product, and that's an investment. It's my main 401k, right? Especially when it comes to vitality and longevity. So what I'm using currently is the nopales. Somebody asked what the nopales are. It's just another name for cactus. You can find this in an international grocer or international fruit stand, international market, or usually if they're a fruit stand like we find in Brooklyn, a fruit and vegetable stand that carries Caribbean products like turmeric, fresh turmeric, ginger, scallion, sometimes Jamaican lime. Usually, the Caribbean grandmothers, they know where to go to find stuff. And there's one market that I know of by soul folks. It's called La Bay Market in Brooklyn. I know a lot of grandmas still go there to get their fish. You can always get soursop leaves and mango leaves and different types of leaves, because a lot of these fruit leaves have a lot of anti-cancer properties. So it's not often that we find a lot of the things from Yad or those tropical ingredients where they're circulating those economics amongst the folks that have this unique beauty mark. So do check out La Bay Market. It was my son that first got on his bicycle, and he pointed it out to me, saying, where are the fruit stands that are, owned also my Afro folks? So again, nopales or cactus. And this can be eaten. You want to make sure you clean it properly, you trim it, you scrape off the little bumpy bumps. These are not sharp like some other sharper cactus or cacti. You can scrape it off and you'll grate it. And then immerse it in some filtered water to make a gel of it. And this is a wonderful option to aloe. I have loads of aloe in my yard right now, but all of the aloe have not come to maturity. And so I have plenty of cactus, and actually the cacti that I have now is kind of like a tree, and it started from a little teeny piece that I had that I replanted. These sprout very, very easily. But I had a little teeny piece like this, and now I've taken so much off of it. I've shared cactus with other folks, and I have plenty to use. So that's one of my goals, right, with the garden, is to have all the things I want to luxuriate myself, and also things that are not leave me with a whole bunch of waste or chemicals going in near my precious brain or through my skin towards my heart or my reproductive organs. These are non-toxic. They can be eaten. They're really good in a smoothie for diabetes, and you can use it on your skin and your hair. And actually, I've been finding this is a little different than the aloe. So just it's a lot of mucilage and slit for those folks that are loose natural. I'm using it for my locks, so I don't have any. Well, actually, I just washed it today, so it's nice and light and fluffy. I don't use any gels, any stuff. I don't do any twisting. I'm not doing any of that. I'm just not. I do care about luxuriating. I'm just not going to do that. I have other things to do with my time, as you can see if you're on this channel. So I grated a whole bunch of the nopal. I scraped it, washed it, scraped it, trimmed it off, and I put a sandwich, layered a bunch of them together, and then grated it. And right when you grate it, a lot of the mucilage is going to come out. Then I immerse it in water, let it sit for just a little bit, maybe 20 minutes, if not a half an hour. Then I strained it through one of the plant milk bags. The plant milk bags that I have, there are different kinds in the market. I like ones that are very, very fine because I'm very into the texture of my food. And when it comes to gels, right, for your hair, if you don't strain them properly, the little pieces will get caught in your hair and they'll dry and look like dried dandruff or dried snot in your hair. So I do strain it through the plant milk bag, and then I just put it in a bottle. So several pieces, I got like 2.5 bottles out of it. And I'm monitoring it, and the gel stays pretty nice, and it doesn't smell funky. Being that I'm not putting any kind of preservatives in it, you do want to be mindful when your stuff is fresh. And I do keep this in the refrigerator, right? So my hair is dry, but it's not brittle. And I actually like to wash my hair, so you got to be careful if you have very mindful. If you have very, very fine, delicate hair that can pop and break easily, especially I'm out in the sun a lot, and I don't prefer oil in my hair because I don't want a whole bunch of oil all over the place or on my sheets or my pillow. And so, as I've shared before, all of my locks, some people think that they're very thick, but I would say I've taken advantage of the Afro feature, right? Because they're growing wide and flat, so it looks fuller, right? If you look at the initial video on this channel, what is Body-Culinary, you'll see, I mean, I thought my hair was looking pretty full. That was a braid out twist. That was a twist out. And I thought my hair was looking kind of full. And I was like, whoa, it was looking kind of sparse. But I still was rocking it. I was rocking my little teeny tiny double strand twist. And so now my hair looks full, or as full as it can be, due to the not twisting and embracing the fro. So I'm not slicking or anything like that. And so just another idea, let's say I would love Congo Nati, but I love what I've got. So I'm trying to find one. I have some of them that are like 4 locks. And just to give you an example of how this was a big fluffy twist, and now after some years, after about going on 5 years, or a bit over 5 years, you can see how compressed they are. So that's a mature lock. So I can see over time, just intuitively, I was like, I'm just gonna let them combine so they can have a stronger base. So now I think I only have 32 locks. And again, these are not Congo Nati. This is 4 locks. These were 4 locks look like on my hair, right? So again, embracing the Afro and not twisting it is a benefit. So it's washed. It dries quickly because there's no oil in it. So all I'm going to do is take the gel. And again, I usually keep this in the refrigerator. And what I like to do is, still kind of jelly, is I take it. And actually, I don't put anything on my scalp. My scalp feels fantastic. Just not twisting and not oiling the scalp. Everybody has ways that they do things. You'll have to find what it is, what your sweet spot is. But my scalp feels fantastic with absolutely nothing on it. No itching, no nothing. The few times I've tried coconut oil, and I adore the smell of coconut oil. However, coconut oil, when it gets on my scalp, will make my scalp itch profusely. And then also my scalp does like buildup. So my skin and my scalp, they really like to breathe. So one of the things I really am liking, really digging about the cactus juice / gel. I guess if you blend it more, you can blend it down to it's a gel. And I'm just squeezing it in. So again, I'm not twisting. It has that mucilage. It's light. I was concerned that I might see like a little green dusty residue, but I don't see any of that. A lot of us spend a lot of money for rose water, and no diss to rose water. I think rose water is great, but I don't know, somehow I just don't. I usually don't feel very comfortable with so much being exported, so much economics, and I don't have a problem with spending for myself. But just on principle, a lot of what we use have a unique beauty mark. All women have their unique beauty mark, but we have a unique beauty mark, and I feel like we should all have roses, or grow some roses for our own, enjoyment, and to be able to use the herbs, use the flowers, all the parts of it, because it's actually a tremendous source of economics that we can circulate amongst the folks that have this beauty stamp. So it's still got, I don't know if you can see, it's still got, a lot of slip, but slip is not my concern. I don't really give two peach pits about slip. I'm just moisturizing it. So this would be a nice alternative to rose water. And there's also another alternative to rose water on this channel. If you look at the video for cucumber and rosemary spritz, right? These are waters, and Somebody whose channel that I really, really enjoy is Yanni the Lockologist. Shout out to Yanni the Lockologist. And she loves rose water, and she is an advocate for not really putting oil inside the locks. So you have to find again what works for you. So I like the light fluffiness of not having oil. I have been known to strip it, which is not necessarily a good thing because I have fine hair, and I like to wash my hair often because being in water and having water run over me is very therapeutic. So you got to find what works for you. So this is nice. I feel this is just as effective. It's Mother Nature's distilled water and moisture. I have access to it. I have so much of this out in my yard. So this is what I'm doing. It's an alternative to having to put oil inside your hair. So you might be able to see, right, my hair, I guess it would be called maybe high porosity or low porosity, whatever the porosity is. I get confused with it. But when I put water on top of my hair, it beads on top of my hair. So it takes a minute for anything to penetrate my hair. Now, the other thing is with not using oil, right, because it is a sealant, I guess that can work if you're doing a method, maybe they call it the LC or something method. But with locks, I'm not manipulating my hair. I want a little bit of moisture to go in it so it doesn't have to feel dry. I think that's what many women are concerned with locks, and if you're not twisting or semi-free-forming. Just the very idea, many of us can't, it's challenging for us to wrap our mind around not putting oil on. And I will say oil, just like water feels really good to me, oil actually feels good to me. But I don't want the heaviness or the lint attraction. Maybe at some point I want to use oil, but I prefer the light fluffiness and my clear skin. So again, I think this is a great alternative. The cactus gel is a great alternative to rose water. It's a lot less expensive. It keeps really well in the refrigerator, and all I do is smooth it down. So this is what I do for my hair in terms of it sits on top of the hair, but I just massage it down and stroke my hair. Rather than using a hairbrush, I just have my hands and I just stroke it down the hair. And then eventually you'll see it starting to penetrate my hair. So it's not soaking wet. And I can use a lot of this. I get a lot of bang for my buck. So I would have to say that's one difference with the cactus or the nopales. I feel like I get more bang for my buck than I love aloe. I get a lot more bang for my buck with the nopales. Not expensive, and I got loads of it in the yard. Loads and loads of it. So I have to wait for a lot of my aloe to become mature so the leaf is big enough. I have been known to get some from my neighbor and then feed my neighbor, and then they give me aloe. See, that's why I'm like, everybody has to have their little Afro flower garden or whatever kind of flower. Now, here's the other thing I do like about the cactus juice. Right, so my hair is kinky cottony, but I have just a little bit of hair, right? The kitchens, in the back kitchen, right here, and all of this stuff. I used to pop this off, or cut it off because it locks, and then I have like hanging little beads, right? That's not really for me. But when I take the cactus gel, whatever you want to call it, it's like a light gel, almost a juice, and put it back there. This feels so springy and so nice. So I can really see this is different than water. It's not heavy. It's not a stiff gel, but this moisturizes so great. And this is all I do with my kitchens in the back. So I'm not cutting these. I'm not popping them off anymore. I'm letting them do what they do. So also when I pull my hair into a ponytail, I have to be careful because this can have a tendency to pull, and I can't take pain. I can't do pain from the chemicals. I can't do pain from pulling. It's not for me. So I simply smooth it in the back of my head, and I'll just pull this. So this is where I can really see how the cactus gel / juice, more of a gel juice, is moisturizing. And I don't have to use rose water. If you wanted to, you could also take a drop of lemongrass and put a little drop of lemongrass. Lemongrass is not so one of like tea tree and not so strong it can burn you. And I'll do the same thing here. So it's not like I have to use a toothbrush for baby hair. That's not, I'm not in high school anymore. But I do love the styles. They look fantastic. But I just smooth this down here. So I'm very protective of my hairline. My hairline pulling means it's going to be on the floor. I won't have it. So this is all I'm doing. I can take as much as I want. It's not soaking wet, and I'm stroking the nopales, again, the cactus. Made the gel out of it. Got 2.5 bottles of gel. Super inexpensive. It's lasting long. Also, one other point, difference between the cactus, which is shout out to Silicon. She had pointed out to me that they call it ratchet when she was coming up in her country, and I thought it was ratchet like something else, but ratchet is what they call cactus in her country. The aloe has a tendency, as it starts to get old, it will get a little bit of a smell. So I'm waiting to see when this is going to get a smell if I don't use it up all first. It can get a little more of a smell when it's starting to turn or go bad because there's no preservatives. And also the aloe can have a tendency where the color will start to turn purple. So I haven't experienced that with the cactus so far. So that's another benefit of the cactus. I did not think that I would like the cactus so much, but I'm thinking right now it's my favorite because number one, it's more readily available. And for any of my folks out there, any of my subscribers, if you've started your garden, being it sprouts so easily, we are in different environments. So the temperature can make a difference, but you don't have anything to lose. Anything that I pay money for, especially if it's organic, but any kind of plants, fruits, and vegetables, I always take the seeds and put them in the ground. This, to me, like I said, the fruits and vegetables are talking to you. It's going to give you a lot of information because it's going to make light bulbs go off if you see that those seeds don't sprout. It's going to really give you another reality check. It's going to make you start thinking, like, are they tampering with the food? You'll be like, really, like, these food don't have seeds? It's not sprouting. That's why I love handling the food and the produce myself. So I can see how the food behaves, how it washes away, right? So that's it. So my hair feels nice and moist, moisturized, not heavy. Doesn't have any smell. Smells nice and fresh. This doesn't really have a smell to it. So again, if you wanted to add a drop of lemongrass, or you can add a drop of lemongrass, maybe to the ends, and then when your hair is blowing in the wind, you can smell the lemongrass, which, by the way, is a very bright, very uplifting scent. I think it's very good for depression, right? Or just a low mood, right? Because I don't like to claim all kinds of states of being. So that's all I'm doing. It's real simple. I'm telling you, it's not complicated. That's not my steam. That's not for me. You can see, and then initially when I put the cactus gel on top, it sat on top of the hair. Now it's absorbed into the hair a little bit, but you can still see a little bit of beads on top. So again, I forget if that's low porosity, high porosity. But you see how simple that is? I'm not doing all that shit. I got other things to do. This is optional if I want to play. So again, this is a good alternative. If you want something other than rose water or paying $14 for a little spritz of rose water, I got like 2.5 bottles plus, out of this. And I took some. I was able to get a nice cup to drink, right? Because again, you can drink nopales. And just one other thing, right? One other thing I think is very important is dousing your insides, right? I'm always talking about living water, living water. What do you mean by living water? You have most of your body is water and liquid, right? We have 2 watery channels, the lymphatic system, or the lymph, and we also have the blood, the circulatory system. Now, it would be a great benefit for us to douse our insides and our cells. I like to think and communicate in pictures. To douse your cells with antioxidants. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to mention the name of the situation that's going on here on the planet. It would behoove us so that our genes, the good behavior, the good information, instructions in our genes, right? We have genetic expression. Our good genes, our strong genes will start to communicate and express a certain kind of way in a certain kind of environment. So depending on what we're eating and drinking is going to affect, that's instructions from food we're eating. It's instructions we're giving to the cells in our body. What should they do and how should they express? Hint, hint. So something like fresh nopales as well as fresh herbs and definitely fresh greens, because I call greens money for your body and bitters for me or food group. But more on that later. But this would be the equivalent of dousing your insides with antioxidants. It's not bitter. It's not unpleasant to the taste. It's pretty neutral, almost like a subtle, a very subtle kind of sweetness to it. It's not sweet, but it's almost like cucumber and lettuce has a very subtle sweetness. to it. The nopales is like that. So it's not bitter. It's not like aloe where it's very bitter, or it's not palatable. We know there's nothing wrong with bitters either. So these are all the reasons that I'm just loving. I'm really, really, really enjoying the cactus juice. And again, I think it's a wonderful alternative to rose water. It's affordable and it's something you can grow. And then last thing, you grow it. Guess what? It's filtered water. It's Mother Nature's filtered water. And there's no way, even though, hold on, we got water in the wine glass over here. And though I love the water in the wine glass, nothing tops Mother Nature's filtered water that's filtered inside of the fresh, whole living produce, the produce, that Mother Nature birth that, pushed out. So that living water, if you can, I would love to hear if any of you get your hands on some nopales. Secure you some. Some you will blend, right? So always take some that we blend. You may want to preserve your own, put some in the freezer. Fresh is always better, but if you have an abundance of it, you can freeze some. For some of you, as a snack, better than chips. You can dry some with spices. You can blend some as a gel, as a moisturizer for your hair. You can blend some, and you can drink some for diabetes. See, that's the ways of the mothers and the grandmothers. That's Afro flower knowledge. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. You're always welcome to comment respectfully. I don't have the only perspective. I would love to hear how, or if at all, you've using Ratchet. Shout out again to Silicon, one of our subscribers, and my homie. Shout out to my UGC girls. If you're using Ratchet, if you're drinking it, the vision is you got a whole yard full of flowers and herbs and things you can do to luxuriate yourself, and you know exactly what's in it. So that's what we're doing over here. Like, comment, subscribe. Check out Whole Living Foods in the Hood with menus to fit your budget. You can find that guide on Body-Culinary.com, and also the guide of Natural Beauty. No products, only food. That's what I'm putting on my skin. If I can't eat it, it's a wrap. All right, y'all. I will see you soon.